Hello, this is JeffDahl, and this is my tutorial for FastForward. I'm going to start off by showing you this little cafe here that I've designed. I'm calling it the Algae Cafe. Um, it's basically a fully sustainable cafe that I've designed for another course that uses algae to produce its energy, so it's a full net zero building. Here you can see the inside as I go into perspective mode. And then I'll jump back into wireless mode here just to make it easier to see and navigate through. Makes it run faster. Now, within this scene, I have created 3 scene states. And these are basically 3 distinct scenes that I've created that I've saved so that I can easily jump back and forth between them. The purpose of this is so that I can save my 3 moods for this project, and with the click of the mouse, go in between them. Now, since we're working with the V-Ray RT, if you go here into Render Setup, you have to make sure that you have the V-Ray selected, and then V-Ray RT, and then you select Active Shade and a window will pop up, and whatever viewport you have selected will render that scene in real time. Now here, going back into the scene states, you can see I've created a red, a green, and a blue scene state. And if you notice, as I change the scene states, the furniture within this cafe changes based on the scene I've selected. Here I'll just do a quick active shade render with the RT of the red scene state. And you can see the more time you let the active shade run, the better it looks. Now here, do a full render and show you exactly how this works. It does all its calculations. It takes a few seconds the first time you open up the active shade window. And then here you can see as it goes from very pixelated and starts getting more refined and detailed. Alright, move that out of the way. Now, with this active shade still open, I'm going to change to a different scene state. You'll notice in the orthographic views it updates, and then also in the active shade window it will update as well to respond to whatever my active viewport is showing. So here you see I changed from the red scene state into the green one, effectively changing the mood in real time of my scene. And once again, as you let this go, the better the detail of it will end up being. Change the scene state once more. This time it's recalculating. And there we have the blue scene state. You'll notice I've also changed the camera angle and the focal length for the 3 different views to show that there are many different attributes that can be changed live with this V-Ray RT. Next up, I'm going to show you how I worked with V-Ray lights within this scene and some of the parameters you can change with these. So I selected one of the V-Ray lights I have in my scene in top view. And if you look, you can, under the multiply option, you can effectively change this value to whatever you want it to be. I found 3 to be a good value for what I liked in this scene, but as you change it, you can increase it to 10, say. And here, the scene gets a lot brighter and more blown out because of the intensity of this light being changed. Switching this back to the default, that way the scene gets back to something that's a little more bearable and more in line with the mood I was setting. You can also change the color of the V-Ray light. So I started out with the blue one in this scene, and here you can change it to a purple, a yellow, a green, whatever you would like to evoke within the scene. So here I'll just leave it with a light yellow, just to show the contrast of the blue to the yellow within my scene. And once again, this all updates live within the active shade window. One of the best features about the RT is this live update that you get while working. Something that would take minutes or hours to do a test render otherwise. Now, as far as materials within my scene, they can also be changed within the RT and scene states. So here in the RT, I'm going to be selecting the floor lights, which right now you see is the two blue bands on the bottom of the scene. I'm going to be changing those into a red. So if I select the object from the scene, go into the material editor, change the color, and then reapply that material, give it a new name, hit OK, and there you have it, live update of another material change. And here you can see where I found this. This is actually a V-Ray light material I'm using, so it gives off emissive qualities like that of an actual light. So in the material editor you can see there are many different V-Ray materials to select from. In this specific case I'm dealing with a V-Ray light material. When you select that, by default it will give you a white, and you can go ahead, you can change the color of that to what you like. Here I'll just give it a red tone. You can change the intensity of this as well, just like you did with the V-Ray lights themselves. And as you can see, the scene is, the mood of it is completely changing as you alter these different things. Now, within this scene, I'm also using V-Ray light materials and regular V-Ray materials, excuse me. So if I select my blue material here that I have assigned to the panels on the wall, and I go into my editor, select those materials, my plastics here, hit OK, change the material color of them, and reapply it. I'll change the name here, hit OK, and the V-Ray RT once again updates. So as you can see, this is a very, very effective tool. Makes it very easy to edit your scene with a simple mouse click. I'll close out the material editor for now, and head over here into perspective, and I'll show you exactly what else you can do with this. One of the benefits of the RT is it has this live update as you move your perspective as well. So if you want to try to figure out what the best camera angle or perspective is for that rendering you want to do, or you just want to test out to see if the spot is receiving enough light, you can easily move through the scene and your RT window will update to correspond with what your perspective view shows. Now once I want to go back into my prescribed scene states, so I'll go up here, select the scene I want to go to, restore it, and everything will end up jumping back into the place of where it was. Now you'll notice I was in perspective mode, so it didn't jump back to my default camera that I had in the scene. So if I go down to the perspective, choose camera, choose the camera I had, and there we have it. We're back into my saved camera view for this specific scene state. If you let this render for a little bit, you can see it starts getting back into the mood that I wanted to evoke. Once you have all your settings set up, you want to do a real render, you can go into the render settings. Make sure you have your V-Ray selected. On the bottom left, you want to select production instead of active shade. make sure you have your camera or your perspective view selected as the render viewport. Hit render and let it do its thing. And here you see, renders away. I've sped this up to make it easier for you to see how this works. And there you have it, a render of the scene. Let's save this out. PNG. And there it is, using V-Ray RT to live update your scene.